We are so excited tonight as we have Denise Love with us. Denise is a renowned death, life and birth doula, and she's renowned around the world for her work in Cambodia and in Australia. We are so excited because she's coming to train people here at the Canberra Wholistic Centre, and she will be training death doulas, birth doulas, and also hypnobirthing. Denise, thanks so much for joining us. I did an intro before, and what I was talking to people about was the fact that you're a death, life and birth doula, and you just talked to me about your hypnobirthing training and also hypnodeath training. So I'd like to talk about that a bit later. What I wanted to do was break this up into a series of like 3 interviews. So this one today will be death doulaing, and maybe we can have a look at the hypnodeath training as well. That'd be amazing. I guess the first question most people ask is what is a death doula?
So, hi, it's great to be here, and thank you for interviewing me. A death doula is somebody who's willing to stand beside you, listen to your story, and just kind of try and meet some of your needs that maybe nobody else is able to. Because we're not family and we're not medical, we can often see and hear different things to what other people are thinking. So we're just a supportive person. We come with open hearts, hands, minds, and souls. We've got no agenda. And I think the most important thing probably for a death doula is to have no expectation of outcome. We just walk your path with you.
Right. And so, like, what would the average sort of describe a relationship? So if I was just told that I have 3 months to live with my cancer, and I thought, you know what, I need a death doula to help me get through this, what would that look like as a relationship? Because a lot of clients are sort of, inquiring about this type of thing.
Sure. So there's 2 different, very distinct things in my life. I work a lot with younger people as well, and that makes a bit of a difference. But if I had a dream, every person who was told they had cancer would be also given the card of a death doula. I think if I'm really fortunate, I get to meet people with earlier diagnoses. So I get a chance to sit down with them and say, do you want treatment? Do you want this? Do you want that? Have you thought about nutritional differences? Where do you want to be? What do you want it to look like? Are you living or you're dying? How are we going to do this? So that's one dream. And I get to do that with a small amount of people, mostly young people in their sort of under 40 or under 30 even, will often ring early. Alternatively, I usually get invited into people's homes when people are exhausted. So they're either in hospice and the family are exhausted and kind of know it's getting close but are getting scared, or the person identifies they want to go home to die, or I've got people who are dying at home and the family's exhausted. So what it looks like is I come in, I meet you, and I say, tell me what you want from me. And they usually say, I have no idea. And I say, well, these are the sort of things I can offer, and I can just be a caring, listening set of ears, or I can come and sit with you for a period of time to give your family a break, or I can come into your home and be more proactive and kind of make sure there's a bit of food, maybe even cook some soup for you. I love to do that because I think a bit of nourishment through soup for the family is really valuable, but it's not an expectation that everybody has to do that. I'll always talk about your advance directive. Have you planned what your death's going to look like? What sort of funeral do you want? And I've got a document that I can let people have if they're interested. So it's kind of like, I guess I like to see people daily for 3 days, just for an hour, just to sort of really get that feeling for their lives. I love to go into their home or into their hospital room. And then depending on the period of time that we've got, it might be a weekly visit, it might be a daily visit, I might move into the home and care for people full time. When I say care, I often get nurses and carers in to do the hard lifting and the nursing type of stuff. And we'll be working alongside a palliative care team. But I find if I check in regularly with the family and the dying person, fear gets controlled. We get on top of the fears and they have a chance to talk. Just give you a quick example. Recently I had somebody dying of a respiratory disease, and so I used to talk to her when the family was tired and went to sleep at 10 o'clock at night. I would talk to her from 10 to 12. She was terrified of going to sleep in case she died while she was asleep.
Right.
So I just get on the phone with her and she'd pay me for a couple of hours work of just literally, I said, you just drift off to sleep and I'll talk to you so you feel safe.
Yeah.
So it can be anything almost. If you happen to be a Reiki practitioner or you're a musician or an artist, you might go in and just draw somebody or sketch somebody in the bed or do some art therapy. It's whatever. The joyful thing about doulas is that they've usually got a lot of other skills, and so we bring those into our realm. So it's individually whatever the doula is and what her capacity and capabilities are, and secondly what the needs and what of the family are.
Right. And do you ever find, you know, as a doula, that you have families sort of coming up and saying, who are you? You know, why is our mother paying you to do something when
All
we're
the time.
here?
All the
Yeah.
time.
I just sort of wonder, because it was I know that families are very emotional at that time. And
Yeah. And it's a bit of a jealousy thing, because often I know things nobody else knows, and I appear to develop a very close relationship very quickly. And when they say that, I say, I'm your gift. I'm the person who'll be there to hold you up. I'll be the person there to put some words in your mouth when you don't know what to say. But secondly and thirdly and lastly, they've invited me into their lives. Why don't you ask them that question?
yes, great answer. Great answer. Yeah. And do you do work with the families as well? So, for example, you know, if my family was sort of like, you know, shocked and bowled over that I've got to go, that I'm leaving, and they just don't know how to do things, and they just don't know how to cope, and they just don't, you know, like, you know, for example, when I did get cancer, I had someone say to me, look, your cancer makes me feel uncomfortable, so I actually can't be around you. And
that is such a common thing, I can't even tell you.
yeah, and so, you know, do you work with families as well? Like, do they employ you to sort of work with them and help them get everything
Absolutely.
set in their mind?
I probably work more with families than I do the dying person.
Right.
My opportunity is that if I can hold the family up and give them some clarity and move through their feelings and thoughts and fears, with not counselling, just hearing them, just saying, tell me your story, then they're the person who is better able then to stand beside the dying person. My biggest role is with families more than the dying person, much more, because when somebody's dying, they're so busy getting on with it. I don't know about you, but you know, when you've got cancer, you're sort of just doing it. You're stepping through the motions. You're given a gift of capacity and strength that your family members aren't given.
Yes.
They're floundering. And all they're thinking is, how am I going to live without you? That's the biggest thing. Grief is really, really, really selfish, you know. So I just say, tell them what it's going to be. Let's paint the picture of what life's going to be like beyond them. And what I find is, if we do the work with the family, the grief afterwards is so much more comfortable and doable and shorter lived. So yeah, family is a big part of our role, big part. Angry family down to resentment from family, and then kind of warming up with family, and then going, thank goodness you're there, family stuff. So, but never, if we're aware as doulas, and part of being a doula is a lot of personal growth. And as I said before, a lot of us come with skills before we become doulas, and we've often learned within a corporate environment or professional environment, or, you know, hairdressers are the best doulas on earth because they're used to listening, minding their own business. So we often come with skills, and part of the training is to learn to really own your own thoughts and feelings and mind your own business. We don't share them with anybody, and we don't, you know, religious or anything. We just be there. It's a beautiful role. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so how do people find a doula? Like, I mean, you know, I'd always been interested in this because I get paid often to be with, you know, animals that I've worked with in trauma as they're euthanized, or, you know, I have a lot of human clients that are, you know, given diagnoses that are terminal. And so I work with them, but I'd never actually heard of a death doula until I heard of you, and it blew my mind, because it was like, this is exactly in a nutshell what I've always wanted to sort of bring together. And so many people since, you know, you've decided to come here to Canberra Wholistic Centre, so many people since then have sort of said that bespeaks a lot of where so it's a great concept. People are really, really excited about doing it and learning about it, but also people are like, you know, how come we don't see it in mainstream? How come we don't see it anywhere? Is it from the hospital? Like, do the hospital recommend doulas? Do they?
Oh yes, it's really early days. I'm the first doula trainer in Australia. Now there are a couple of other wonderful bodies training doulas as well. I was the first birth doula trainer, and I'm the first death doula trainer. And I think
can I just butt in there and say that when the ads went up, I've had people from all around the world contact me and say, oh my God, I trained under her. She is amazing. It was the most incredible experience I've ever had. And, you know, so glad you're having it there. And so you come really, really highly recommended from amazing places, you know, Arizona. And yeah, it's incredible where your journey has taken other people. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. That's lovely to hear. And it's really fulfilling because I work very hard, like a lot of people do, to be who I am in this world. And secondly, I do train in many countries, both online and face-to-face. I travel to other countries to train people. I think I have a background of being a nurse and a registered nurse until very recently, and I'm still nursing in some of the developing countries, but I just saw the gaps. And I knew that when protocols and practices came in and became very rigid around fear of litigation, that we were no longer serving the needs of patients. And I have a capacity to be brave enough to be really respectful of the system, but also to hear people.
Yes.
And, you know, people say, are you advocate for them? And I say, I don't think of myself that at all. I put the words in their mouth. I help them explore their thoughts and feelings and have the courage to speak to their oncologist. But you're saying, where do they find me? So I get emails from all over the world. Like today I got one from the US or California or somewhere saying, is there a doula in my area? And I have networks of people I just throw it out to. But all around Australia, people just contact me. And then I've trained about 2,000 people around Australia. I travel in my caravan, old 78 caravan.
Beautiful.
And do training in country towns.
Yeah.
And so I'm usually able to tap them into somebody. If not, I just Zoom online and we work online together. You know, the other night I was working with a woman whose husband was dying, and she just set up just like this. She set up the Zoom camera. She said, oh, listen to his breathing. What do you think now? And I was able to just step her through it. You know, and I said, I'm going to speak for a couple of hours. Call me if you want me again. But I left the screen up. So, you know, and we've been forced to do this because of COVID, but I'd already been doing it before. So they find me on the internet. Somebody wrote to me recently and said, oh, Denise, can you support me? Whatever I wrote on the internet spoke to her. So, you know, and Beautiful. I've got a myriad of different daughters with different skills, different attitudes, different, you know, energy. And usually when I talk to somebody for 10 or 15 minutes, I think, oh, that person would be great for them.
Yeah.
So it's very personal referral at the moment. It'll get much bigger than that, but it's very early days. And my dream is I'm getting a lot of nurses coming to the course from intensive care units and from emergency care saying we need doulas in those places. So my dream is we'll have to go through an accreditation process so that hospitals will employ them. I've got some volunteers working in nursing homes, and I want to infiltrate the doctors and say we're part of your support team. When you give somebody a cancer diagnosis, give them the oncologist, give them the palliative care team, and give them the doula's cards. And also, I really encourage doulas to be part of funeral parlors and say, you know, if every funeral parlor had 3 doulas, they could say, because a lot of people pre-plan their funerals, but even if they've already died, we can go and help them plan their ceremony and do some work with them afterwards. So it's very early days. You're not the first person. I've just been in hospital for a few weeks and not one nurse or doctor had ever heard of a doula, let alone a death doula. So it's early days. But
I think it's exciting, and I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's amazing how many people have this great interest in this depth of empathy and have had it all their life and know where to put it, and as they're hearing about death doulas, they're like, there it is. And so I think it's about to lift off and give people an opportunity to be able to do what their heart, you know, like one woman that's coming to the course said to me, she said, you know, I've wanted to do this for a long time, but I wasn't comfortable with dead bodies up until now, and now I've moved through that, so now I'm ready. So and I imagine that there would be some clients that you're with as they pass and some clients you aren't, and all sorts of different scenarios. So
at this point in my career, I'm not often with them when they die. The family are feeling so comfortable, and I've prepared them and I've given them the rundown. I find it less intrusive probably if I'm not, I think it's better often that I'm not there. And they're so proud. It's like the mother who gave birth and says, I did it. And then they ring me and say, we did it. So when I'm willing to step back sometimes and just go, call me if you need me, but you're ready. And I speak to the dying person and say, I'm so proud of you. You're really doing this well. I can hear you rattling chest. I can hear you not feeling great. I can see you not feeling great. You're on your path. Walk the last chapter on your own if you can. Yep. And it's really, really special.
Beautiful. And being able to answer questions, as they come up, I think is a brilliant thing. Look, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited to be doing the training myself, and I look forward to so many things. And we just wanted to touch on the HypnoDeath system here, because the people that have trained with you or trained as death doulas may want to look at this as well as another tool to bring into their kit. So that's some training you're going to be running here.
Yeah, so the advanced death doula training talks more about the actual diseases people might have, and I just find it incredibly useful for symptom control, whether it's during chemotherapy or radiotherapy. And around fear, we can do some hypnosis for the whole family about the fear. In fact, I often get them to sit around the bed and I just do a really simple process of let's all let our fear go, let's let the love flow through, and, just really empowering everybody to kind of let go of what expectations are around death and to come into it. But the big one is pain. A lot of my clients really want to be awake during death. They don't want to be bombed out on morphine or whatever, which is kind of often the only tool we've got because there's not enough people around to hold the space. And so I find either getting a family member to record or giving them scripts to read, or I do a lot of work with them as well, identifying their pain or their nausea or their discomfort or their fear, and what can we put in place of that. And I've used it lots for pain relief for myself, and it was pregnant women who taught me to be a hypnotherapist, and I went and did clinical hypnotherapy as a study. It's just it's so powerful and so useful. And,
absolutely.
And for the death doula too, just to clear our head between cases. Sometimes I do a birth in the morning, I'm off to a death in the afternoon, doing a funeral tomorrow. So it's a great skill for me to bring me back to just being Denise in between times. So the advanced doula training course, I start you off with, during the training course that we're doing on the weekend, I'll give you some of my scripts just for clearing your own old thoughts and beliefs and building confidence.
Beautiful.
But I'll teach some aspects of hypnotherapy during the advanced course. It's a beautiful tool. Well, the breath is so powerful for everything.
Oh, absolutely. And as a clinical hypnotherapist, I know firsthand the effect it has on people that are, given a terminal diagnosis and things, to actually go down and we do a journey similar to that, where they sort of just go through themselves and ask questions, and we go and sit by a fire and they do all of this work there. So I imagine that HypnoDeath is a a development of that across the actual journey. So it's beautiful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. And we will talk again a little bit later about your HypnoBirthing and your birth doula courses. So thank you so much. And everybody here is so excited to be seeing you on the weekend. And Gary, and it's going to be wonderful to have your energy here in the
clinic.
Him
in the mirror, maybe. I don't know, not quite. Look, it's just so exciting. And Canberra's always, I've been down there before and done courses, and they'll come and visit us and get in touch with, and we'll develop a wonderful team down there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.